Morning, Harvey.
Good morning.
How you doing? All right?
Yeah, not too bad. No
Good.
complaint.
How is Lee? All right?
Yep.
Good. Good to hear. Things on that side of the village more or less okay?
As far as I know, very quiet,
Uh,
which I guess is good. How are we doing on the other side?
all right. Still, I haven't heard more. Uh, Again, we had some reports of possible COVID, but they have to follow up on it. Meanwhile, Gideon Lazinski is in the hospital.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
For that same reason, or?
No, a different issue.
Uh,
Had to have a procedure done. So we'll see. I'll check with the rabbi if he's aware of it. He's been there about a week now, so.
See, separated, we don't.
Exactly. Okay, so I know Irwin had signed up for a 7:15 minion, and I know Bob had signed up for a 8 o'clock. Bob Romberg had signed for an 8 o'clock minion. That's why he joined later yesterday. I'm wondering, Ted, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Once everybody gets on, I'm just wondering if Bob doesn't switch his minion, if they don't switch around some minion times, because I know they had assigned me for 8 o'clock and I asked instead for 7:15. I'm just wondering if we should consider maybe switching our time, since Joel Natuchin stopped his 9:15 Gemara. We'll see. Maybe we will give some thought if we should switch to start at 9 o'clock instead of 8:15. Whether that will throw people off or not. I've got the flexibility, but I would like to do what the majority of people feel comfortable. Okay. So I'm waiting another moment and then we'll get started. Oh, here's Bob. Okay. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Erwin.
Good morning.
How we doing? All right?
Good morning. Chodesh Tov.
Chodesh Tov, everybody. Okay, good. Very good. So we are on Kafchet Amud Aleph. We're about 5 lines down, I would say. Right, the new section from our Mishnah. Okay. Remember, we saw the discussion was in regards previously to whether these Shmona Shratzim had skin, had whether there was Tuma with regards to Shabbat, things like that. So we now pick up that discussion, but applying a different part of our Mishnah. Okay, Chaya va'of, in regards to undomesticated animals and birds. Amar Rav Huna, says Rav Huna, kotvin tfilin al gabe or shel of tahor, that one is able to write tefillin on the skin of a kosher bird. Okay, Amar Rav Yosef, and Rav Yosef responds, Mai Kamashmalan, what is it that the Rav Huna seems to be trying to teach us? The itle or, is it because we say that he has skin? Tanina, in a sense, we've already learned this, right? Why? Because we have a braita that teaches, Hachovel behen chayav, one who wounds these animals is culpable. In other words, blood will flow if you wound them on Shabbat, and therefore you would be culpable. Amar le Abaye, says Abaye, Tuva kamashmalan. He actually comes to teach us more. The imi matnitin, because if we had only had our Mishnah, Hava Amina, I would have said, Kivan de itbe nikve lo. I would say, since the skin of a bird has many holes, in other words, the holes are from the feathers of the bird, I might have thought, no, that you can't use that skin to write tefillin. Kamash Malan comes to teach us, Kida Amre b'ma'arav, as they say in Eretz Yisrael, Kol nekev shahadiyo overet alav eino nekev, that any hole which the ink can pass over, in other words, the hole is filled in by the ink and therefore you can still see the quality of the letter, is not considered a hole. Meitive Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Zera, however, objects and cites the following. B'chnafav. Okay, it says in his, or in other words, rendered by the wings thereof. Right? This is lahachshir et haor. In other words, to include that the skin is fit. V'isalka da'atcha orhu. And if we were to only think that the skin is something separate, hechi marbe kra. On what basis then would the pasuk have included it? Amar Abai, says Abai, orhu, the rachamana rabia. It is skin, says Abai, indeed. Okay, it included as separate skin. Excuse me, but the Torah still includes it. Now, Ikeda Amre, there are those, however, who say, Amar Rabbi Zera, that this is what Rabbi Zera basically said. Right? Af anan nami tanina beknafav. Excuse me. We also learn the Braita that includes, in regarding to its wings, the rabot hetaor, to include the skin. I amart bashlema orhu. And if you're going to say that it's acceptable to include it as skin, separate skin, hainu de'itztarich kra l'rabuye. That's the reason that we need the pasuk in order to include it. Ella I amart lav orhu. But if you say that skin is not separate, not item, it's part of the flesh, amai itztarich kra l'rabuye. Why then would we need the pasuk to include it? Sorry. Amarle Abai, says Abai in response again, Le'olam emelach lav orhu. In truth, I would really tell you that maybe it's not separate skin, v'itz tarich, but it was still necessary. Salka da'atach amina, because I could have thought, kevan de'itbe pirtse, because it has many, many holes, right? Ma'is, that it's detestable, it's disgusting to write tefillin on it. Kamash Malan comes to teach us that that's not the case. Okay. We continue with a slightly new section in our Gemara. Baimine Mar Bereda Ravina Merav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. So Mar, son of Rabina, asks Rav Nachman the following question. Okay, it's going to seem a little bit surprising, but since we said you could write tefillin on the skin of a kosher bird, he asks, Mahu l'chtov tefillin al gabe or shel dag tahor. What about writing tefillin on the skin of a kosher fish? Amarle, im yavo Eliyahu vayomer. His response was, let Elijah come and he'll give us an answer. Okay? Mai im yavo Eliyahu vayomer. What does he mean when he said, when and if Elijah comes, he'll tell us? I lema, I de'it or if we're going to say that a kosher fish has, so to speak, separate skin and valid skin, I delete leor, or maybe it doesn't have skin. Ha chazinin de'it leor. But here we see that it does have skin. Va'od, and furthermore, Hatnan isn't it taught elsewhere in another Mishnah, Atzmot hadag va'oro matzilin ba'ohel hamet, namely that the bones and the skin of a fish save it when it is in a ohel tuma mace situation from becoming tameh. Ela im yavo Eliyahu v'yomer. Okay, but if we're saying that Elijah will come and tell us, if the foul smell of the fish will prevent us from writing tefillin on it. Ilo paska zohama mine, or if the foul smell does not uh, evaporate, so to speak. Okay. New story again now. Since again, I just tell you jokingly that I didn't write the Gemara. I try to teach it, but we can see here the editing. Since we had a story about fish, okay, we move now to another story, okay, it's literally by the riverside, okay. Shmuel v'Karna havuyatve aguda de Nahar Malka. Shmuel and Karna. Karna was another Talmid Chacham, also a younger, lesser known colleague of Shmuel, right? They were sitting by the banks of the Malka River. Chazin hu lamaya, the kadalu va'achiri. Okay? And they saw that the water was rising and changing color. Okay? Now, Shmuel speaking, and apparently there's a difference of opinion. The water was murky, right? And there's a difference of opinion how to interpret the next whole part of the story. But we're going to suggest that the Shmuel, as a doctor, okay, was aware of a concern about drinking this kind of water, right? Marle Shmuel leKarna. Shmuel says to Karna, Gavra Rabba Ka'ati Mima'arava. There's a great man coming from the Eretz Yisrael. V'chiyesh b'mayai. And I'm concerned about his internal organs. In other words, since he's coming from Eretz Yisrael, who knows if he's aware about the concerns drinking this kind of water, and it might cause him intestinal issues. Dalu maya la'akuble apekame. And what was happening was that the water was coming to greet him, to give him a welcome. Okay? Zil tehile akan kane. He says, go and meet him, he tells Karna, okay? So that we know what his bottle, what is like, what his jug is like. In other words, I want you to go and test him to see the quality of his learning. Azal, he went, Ashkachela Rav, and he found Rav, okay? Remember, Rav had been a first generation Talmid of Yehuda Hanasi. First, then came to, right? Then came to Bavel. Amarle. So he found him and he asks the question. First question. Minayin she'ein kotvin tefillin ela al gabe or behema tahora. How do we know, he asked, that we can only write tefillin on the skin of a clean or kosher animal? Okay. Amarle, he said to him, his response, Rab, dichtiv, because it's written, Leman tiyeh Torat Hashem beficha, in order that the Torah, right, shall be, the law of the Lord be in your mouth, right? Meaning, okay, min hamutar beficha, that which permitted in your mouth. Okay, so that was the first answer. Okay, second question has to do now with nida and ritual impurity for women. Minayin ladam shehu adom. How do we know that the blood has to be red in order to render a woman tme'ah? Okay, if it's a different color, if it's a yellowish or a greenish, we know that's not considered a blood tameh. Shene'amar, vayir'u mo'av mineged, et hamayim adumim kidam. Okay? Citing the pasuk, and the Moabites saw the water against them as red as blood. Okay, from Malachim, right? So that's the second case. Third example, question. Minayan lamila shaba'oto makom. How do we know, excuse me, that circumcision is to be carried out in that particular place? Ne'emar kan orlato. It says here orlato. V'ne'emar lahalan orlato. And it says elsewhere orlato. Malahalan davar she'oseh pri. The same way there in terms of trees and produce, we talk about orla dealing something that produces fruit. Okay, afkan davar she'oseh pri. So here too, we're talking about something that produces fruit. In other words, future progeny. Okay? So therefore, he answered the three questions of Karna. Okay, Ema libo. So Karna challenges him. I might say, maybe it's referring to the heart, to his heart. Dichtiv umaltem et orlat levavchem. Because we have a pasuk that says you should circumcise the orla of your heart. Ema azno. I might say maybe it refers to his ear. Dichtiv hine orla aznam. In Yirmiyahu, another pasuk. Okay. Danin orlato tama me orlato tama. Rav answers, we determine exereshava, okay, from the complete word of orlato, okay, in its simple form, me orlato tama, from again, orla in its simple form. Ve'ein danin orlato tama me orlat she'enat tama. And we don't make a gzereshava to produce our result, okay, where the words are not completely parallel. Amarle, mai shimcha, he said to him, what's your name? Karna. Okay, Karna, of course, means a horn. Amarle, yehe ra'ava datipuk le karna be'ene. Okay, Rav was not happy with the fact that somebody was sent to examine him, and he, well, let's say, put a curse on Karna, made some sort of a sty or something, point and horn come from your eye. Okay, Lesof Eile Shmuel Avete. Ultimately, Shmuel invited Rav to his home. Ochle Nechama. He gave to Sa'are, and he gave him bread made from barley to eat, the kasa de harsana, and he gave him a cup of small fried fish, v'ashkaye shikra, and he gave him a beer to drink, v'lo achve le beit hakise, but he did not tell him where the restroom was. Ki hechi delish tolshale. Okay, and when Rav got what we'll call diarrhea, what happened? Light Rav was cursing. Va'amar man de mitza'aran lo lokmuha le b'nei. Okay, that whoever caused me such discomfort, may his children not have long lives, v'chein hava. And indeed, that was the case. So Gemara now continues with a new section. Kitnai. Okay, we have a machloket tanaim here. Minayin lamila sheba'oto makom. How do we know that Mila, circumcision, is to be carried out in that particular location? Ne'emar kan orlato, v'ne'emar lahalan orlato. It says here orlato, it says there orlato. Ma lahalan davar she'oseh pri, afkan davar she'oseh pri, divrei Rabbi Yoshia. Okay, so this drasha then, the same way that Orla deals with the fruits of the tree, so therefore we apply it to the object, the body part that produces progeny fruits, according to Rabbi Yoshia. Rabbi Natan Omer, Eino tzarich. We don't need, says Rabbi Natan, a drasha in order to come to that conclusion. Harehu Omer, because we have a pasuk, okay, that says, V'aral zachar asher lo yimol et basar arlato. Okay, pasuk in Bereshis that basically says in terms of circumcision and refers to zachar in the pasuk. Makom shnikar bein zachrut l'nekevut. That implies it is that place that helps us recognize the difference between males and females. Tanu Rabbanan, says a new brighter. Kodvim tefillin al gabe or behema tahora. We write tefillin on the skin of a kosher animal. Ba'al gabe or chaya tahora. Okay, and on the skin of a kosher undomesticated animal. Va'al gabe or nevelot utrefot shelahem, and also on the skin of animals that are nevelot utrefot. They've died on their own, or they have been a trefa animal that can't be eaten, but its skin is still acceptable. V'nechrachot b'se'aran, and we can also use their hairs to sewing tefillin. V'nit parot b'gidim, and we also can tie them up, okay? In other words, wrap them with their hair and sew them with their gid, with their sinews. V'halacha Moshe miSinai, and this is a law of Moshe from Sinai. Shehat tefillin nichrachot b'se'aran, that tefillin are wrapped up with their hairs, v'nit parot b'gidim, and sewn with their sinews. Aval ein kotvim lo al gabe or behemat me'ah, but we do not write on the skin of a non-kosher animal, domestic animal, v'lo al gabe or chayat me'ah, and not on the skin of a non-kosher, non-domestic animal. Ve'enot tzarich lomar, and we do not even have to say al gabe or nevela utrefa shelahem, on the dead or non-kosher skin of them. Ve'en nechrachin b'se'aran, and we don't wrap them with their hairs. Ve'en nit parot b'gidim, and we don't sew them, so to speak, with their sinews. V'zo she'ela sha'al baitusi echad at Rabbi Yehoshua. Okay, Hagirsi. And this was a question that one of the Baitusim, remember, was a sect in that time, similar to the Tzadukim, that did not necessarily accept all of the Torah Sheba'al Peh, or interpreted it slightly differently. Okay, and this is what he asked, right? Minayin she'en kotvin tefillin al or behemat me'ah. On what basis is it that we don't write tefillin on the skin of a non-kosher animal? Dichtiv, because it's written, Leman tiyeh Torat Hashem beficha. Okay, because it says the Torah should be written in your mouth. Midavar hamutar beficha, from something permitted in your mouth. Ela me'ata, okay, from here, al gabe or nevelot utrefot al yechtevu, and therefore from the skin of these animals, okay, that are dying of themselves or non-kosher, we don't write it. Amarle, so that was part of the Baitz's challenge. You said you could write it from their the dead animal, but you're not supposed to eat it. Okay, why is that possible? Amarle imshol lecham mashal, says Rabbi Yoshua. I'll give you a mashal, an example. Okay, a parable. Okay, the following. Laman, right? Right? So, imshol lecham mashal, right? Lama hadavar domeh, what is it similar to? L'shnei b'nei adam shenitchayvu harega l'malchut, to two men who were condemned to death by the king's authority. Echad hargo melech, one was killed by the king himself. Ve'echad hargo ispakiliotor, one was killed by the royal agent, the executioner. Eze mehen meshubach, which is more praiseworthy? Have omer zeh shehargo melech. One might ordinarily think it was the one that was killed by the king. Ela me'ata yochlu. Okay, and so therefore, on which should we say would be permitted to eat? Okay, an animal killed by man or an animal killed by the king. Amarle, he said to him, HaTorah Amra. The Torah itself says, Lo tochlu kol nevela. Okay? And its Torah spells out that you cannot eat any nevela. Va'at amart yochlu. And you say you can eat it. All right? Amar le kalus. He said to him, the Baitus responds back to Rabbi Yoshua, well said. In other words, it's not to be eaten, but it's still usable. Okay? In other words, so therefore, that's the implication with the nevela and trefa skins. And that's why the Baitusi said that it's well appropriately said. New Mishnah. Ein osim hilmi b'Shabbat. We are not permitted to make brine, okay, on Shabbos. Let's go over and continue. I know it's a lot of Gemara. We'll cover as much as we can. Aval osehu et melech, but one may produce salt water. V'tovel behen pato, and dip his bread in it. V'noten letocha tavshil, and then put this inside the, or even put the salt water inside the boiling cooking food. Amar Rabbi Yossi, says Rabbi Yossi, v'halohu hilmi bein meruba bein mu'et. Isn't though that's still some sort of a brine, like a pickling solution, regardless if it's a lot or a little. Ve'elu hein mei melech hamutarin. And these are the examples of salt water that's permitted. Notein shemen lechatchila. One puts oil in first, l'tocha mayim, into the water, or l'tocha melech, or into the salt. So the Gemara, Ma'i Kamar, what is he talking about? Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel, Hachi Ka'amar. This is what he's saying. Ein osin me melech merubin. We don't make large amounts of salt water. Osehu me melech mu'atin. But we may make small amounts of this brine, of this salt water. Amar Rabbi Yossi, says Rabbi Yossi, v'halohu hilmi bein merubin bein mu'atin. But isn't this still then some kind of brine, pickling, whether it's a lot or a little? Ibayalahu. So they asked him, Rabbi Yossi, le'asor o lahatir. Is Rabbi Yossi's position, is it more stringent or more lenient? Amar Rabbi Yehuda, lahatir. Rabbi Yehuda says it's for leniency. Midelo katani Rabbi Yossi oser. Because Rabbi Yossi doesn't say to forbid it. Amar le Rabba, says Rabba, ha, midikatani seifa. But what about the fact that it's taught at the end, ve'elu hein me melech hamutarin, that these are the examples of permitted waters. Miklal, the Rabbi Yossi aseh la'asor. This seems to imply that in all other cases, Rabbi Yossi is for stringency. Okay? Ela amar Rava, says Rava, le'asor, it comes to be stringent. V'chein amar Rabbi Yochanan le'asor. And likewise, says Rabbi Yochanan, to be stringent, to prohibit. Tanya nami hachi. And we have a braita that teaches also. Ein osin me melech merubin, latet letocha kivasin, shebetocha gistara. We do not make a large amount of salt water in order to put into the kivasin, put into the pickled items, okay, the items that we're pickling that are in a potsherd, okay, that's used specifically for that purpose. Aval osehu me melech mu'atin, but it's permitted to make a small amount of salt water. V'ochel bohen pato, and one can eat his bread with it. V'noten letocha tavshil, or put it into the cooking. Right? Amar Rabbi Yossi, says Rabbi Yossi, v'chim mepnei shehalalu merubin v'halalu me'utim. Is that because in one case it's a lot, and in another case it's a small amount? Halalu asurin v'halalu mutarim. That therefore in this case it's prohibited, and in this case it's permitted. Yomru malacha meruba asura, malacha mu'etet muteret. People would then come to say, on Shabbat, if I do a lot of work, it's prohibited. But if I only do a small amount of work, it would be permitted. Ela elu ve'elu asurin hein. But both this and this kind is forbidden. Ve'elu hein me melech hamu'utarim. And this is what we mean when we say that this salt water is permitted. Notain shemen umelech. Okay, one puts oil and salt. O shemen umayim, or oil and water. Ubilvad shelo yitain mayim umelech lechatchila. So long as one doesn't put the water and the salt initially. Now we get a mnemonic device to remember the next parts of the Gemara. Azin, strong, snon, radish, etrog, and etrog, okay, etc. Tani Rabbi Yehuda, a new piece in the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda bar Chaviva teaches, Ein osin me melech azin. We don't make strong salt water. Mai melech azin, what do we mean strong salt water? Rava Rav Yosef bar Abba, the Amrei Travayu, that the two of them say, Kol shehebeitza tzafa behen. Any that an egg will float on top of it. The kama, and how much is that? Amar Abai, says Abai, trei tilte milcha, 2/3 salt, v'tilta maya, and 1/3 water. Lamai avdela, for what purpose is this used or made? Amar Rabbi Abahu, the moraisa. This is made for creating fish brine, okay? Kind of pickled fish, right? Right? Herring, for example, with pickled fish. Tani Rabbi Yehuda bar Chaviva. So he says, Ein molchin snon ubeitza b'Shabbat. We do not salt radish or eggs on Shabbat. Rav Chizkiya mishmeda Abai. Rav Chizkiya, in the name of Abai, says, snon asur ubeitza muteret. Radishes are prohibited, but egg is permitted. Amar Rav Nachman, Mereish hava milchana pugla. Initially, says Rav Nachman, I used to put salt on radish. Amina afsude kamifsidna. Okay, and why? Because I thought that would spoil the taste. that the salt would reduce the sharpness of the radish, right? Right? Da'amar Shmuel, pulga chorfe ma'ale, that basically, that reducing the sharpness slices, okay, is acceptable, is an improvement. Kevan de shema'alaha dechi'ata ula. Once, however, I heard, okay, that when Ula came, v'amar, he said, b'ma'arava malche kishrei, okay, that when one salts slices or pieces, okay, that it sharpens it. Memalech lo malchana, I no longer continue to put salt on it. Tavule vadai madbilaina, but I do continue to dip it. Okay. Tani Rabbi Yehuda Bar Chaviva says, now etrog, right? Snow, radish, ubeitza, an egg, il malay klipatan hachitzona, were it not for their outside shell or outside peel, right? Einan yotziin mibnei me'ayim le'olam. They would never leave your intestines. In other words, they would cause intestinal problems. Ki ata Rav Dimi amar. When Rav Dimi came, he said, Ma'olam lo tava gavra biyama destom. He says that a person never drowned in the Sea of Sodom, in other words, the Dead Sea. Amar Rav Yosef, hafucha, change the wording, Sodom, okay? Vahafucha mila, and change the wording there in regards to a plank, okay? Gavrahu delotava, okay? A person never sank, okay? Kashura tava, but a plank, something else heavier, okay, could sink. Amarle Abaye, says Abaye, lo mebaye kamar. No, he was giving a statement in the lo mebaye format, okay? Namely, lo mebaye kishura. It's not necessary to say that a plank, a piece of heavy wood, would sink. Da'afilu bechol mimot sheba'olam lo tava, because even in all the waters, it might not sink. Ela afilu gavra detava bechol mimot sheba'olam. But even a person, okay, might sink in the seas of throughout the world. B'yama destom lo tava. But in the Sea of Sodom, the Dead Sea, one would not sink. Lamai nafka mina. So what's the difference we're saying here? Ki had the ravin, hava shakil, ba'azil achore, the Rabbi Yirmiyah, aguda diyama destom. As in the case when Ravin happened to follow and was going behind Rabbi Yirmiyah as he walked along the shore of the Dead Sea. Amarli, so he said to him, Lememshe mahani maya b'Shabbat, would it be permissible to wash in these waters on Shabbos? Amarle Shapir Dami, said to him, well recited. Then he asked again, Mahu lemematz ulemiftach, what about to open and shut the eyes? Zolo shamati. Okay, Amarle, he said to him, that I didn't learn. Ki yotzei ba shamati, but something similar I learned. Da Amar Rabbi Zera, says Rabbi Zera, Zimnin Amarle Mishmei de Rav Matana, who said something at times, says in the name of Rabbi Matana, V'zimnin Amarla Mishmei de Mar Ukva, and at other times may have been said in the name of Mar Ukva, Utravaihu Mishmei de Avuha de Shmuel, the Levi, and the two of them said it in the name of Shmuel's father and Levi, Amrim. So we say, Chad Amar, Yayin betocha ayin asur, wine, putting wine into one's eye, okay, as a medicinal act is on Shabbat is prohibited. Al gabe ha'ayin mutar, but putting it above the eye is permitted. The chad amar rok tafel, okay, tasteless spittle. Afilu al gabe ha'ayin asur, even on the eye is prohibited. Tistayim, the avuha de Shmuel hu de amar yayin betoch ha'ayin asur. You might conclude that it was Shmuel's father who was the one who said that putting wine into one's eye is prohibited. Al gabe ha'ayin mutar, but putting on top of the eye is permitted. Mida amar Shmuel, based on what Shmuel himself said, Shora Adam pito b'yayin, that a person may dip his bread in wine, but no al gabe ha'ayin b'Shabbat, and then put the bread soaked in wine on one's eye on Shabbat. The Shmi'alei mima'an. Well, who would he have learned it from? Lav de Shmi'alei me'avuha. Wouldn't he have learned it from his father? Ula ta'amech. And according to that reasoning, Had Amar Shmuel, in the case where Shmuel says, Rok tafel afilu al gav ha'ayin asur, that even tasteless spittle on top of the eye is forbidden, the Shamiya le miman, who would he have learned that from? I lema de Shmiya le me'avuha, if you want to say that he learned it from his father, Ela Levi v'lo chada amar, but regarding Levi, wouldn't he have said at least one of these statements? Ela chada shmiya le me'avuha, v'chada shmiya le mi-Levi. But one he must have learned from his father, and one he must have learned from Levi. V'lo yadinan he me'avuha, he mi-Levi. And we don't know which one is from his father, excuse me, and which one is from Levi. Amar Mar. Let's finish up. One last section now. It says Mar Ukva Amar Shmuel, in the name of Shmuel. Shura Adam Kiloren Me'erev Shabbat. It's saying that a person may put eye salve, okay, on his eye before Erev Shabbos. V'notein, in other words, prepare it, get it ready. V'notein al gav einav b'Shabbat, and then put that salve called collyrium on his eye on Shabbat itself. Ve'eno choshesh, and he doesn't have to be concerned, worried that he's being over on Shabbos. Bar Levi, have kai kame damar, and we say that the Bar Levi, okay, was standing before Mar Ukva. Chazia dahava maye tu patach, and he saw that Mar Ukva was opening and shutting his eyes. Okay, Amar le, and he said to him, Kuli hai vadai lo shara Mar Shmuel. Well, all this act certainly was not permitted by the master Shmuel. Shalach le Rabbi Yanai l'Mar Ukva. And now we hear this story that Rabbi Yanai sent a message to Mar Ukva. L'shader lan Mar, may the master please send me mehanach kilorin de Mar Shmuel, from that particular eye salve that's, so to speak, diagnosed, recommended by Shmuel. Shalach le, he sent to him, Shadure mishadarna lach, de lo tema sar ayin ana. I'm sending it to you so you won't say that I'm miserly. Elahachi amar Shmuel. But rather, this is what Shmuel actually said. Tova tipat sonein shachrit. Better is a drop of cold water in the morning. V'rechitzat yadayim v'reglayim bechamin arvit. And washing hands and feet in warm water at night. Mikol kilorin sheba'olam. Than all of the eye salves in the world. Tanya nami hachi. And the Bright that also teaches this, Amar Rabbi Moneh Mishum Rabbi Yehuda, in the name of Rabbi Yehuda, Tova tipat sonein shachrit, better is a drop of cold water in the morning, v'rechitzat yadayim v'raglayim arvit, and in the washing hands and feet in warm water at night, mikol kilorin sheba'olam, than all of the eye salve in the world. Hu haya omer, and he would say, yad, furthermore, he says, yad la'ayin tiktzaf, that if one doesn't wash their hands and lets their eye touch their hand, doesn't wash their hands and touch their eye, it should be cut off. Yad lechotem tiktzaf. Again, not washing one's hands and you touch your nose, it should be cut off. Yad lepeh tiktzaf. Not washing hands and you put it in your mouth, it could be cut off. Yad la'ozen tiktzaf. Lack of washing hands and you put it in your ears, should be cut off. Yad lechasuda tiktzaf. Okay, not washing hands and you apply it to a wound, again, should be cut off. Yad la'ama tiktzaf. Okay, not washing hands and you apply it to your male organ, should be cut off. Yad lepita bat tiktzaf. Lack of washing hands and you apply it to your anus, should be cut off. Okay, yad legigit, also lack of washing hands, and we'll go over just a tiny bit, putting it into the vat, a beer barrel or a wine vat. Okay, why? Yad misama, because the hand then, unwashed hands, can lead to blindness. Yad mechareshet, unwashed hands can lead to deafness. Yad ma'aleh pulipus, and unwashed hands can lead to polyps, to nasal growths, okay, in the nose and elsewhere. Okay? And we're going to stop, okay, right there, okay, for today. All right, and we'll pick up Kaf Tet tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good. Check in. Bob, things okay with Minyan?
Yeah. The rabbi approached me last night and said, go to 7:15. This way we'll be able to go to the daf. So I said, sounds like a plan.
Okay. And Erwin, things were better. Erwin, you're there? I reminded the rabbi to make sure Jus put on the fans in the sukkah. Okay?
Yeah, worked pretty well. And we had a terrific Bal Musaf. That made
Oh,
all
yeah.
the difference in the world.
And
Bal
who is
Musaf was
that?
excellent.
Who is that?
Erwin Keller.
Great. Yasher koach, Erwin. Okay, everybody have a good chodesh and stay well.
And you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Ken.